exciting testing. I'd like to congratulate you for changing goals and objectives, which these previously were, to projects now. And I'd like to see some type of priority, and two particular ones in effect. I'd like to see one saying resolve the problems existing between the rules and regulations versus covenants and the use of the clubhouse by activity, by outside people and performance.
Any further resident comment? Any further board comment, discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries unanimously. I'm sorry, Bob. I'm sorry, I didn't give you. Okay, I apologize. Motion carries 6-1. Okay, Kevin, you want to go down the list?
Yeah.
And we can discuss what Bob mentioned too.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I'm sorry. My vote's
Okay.
All right, so once again, I think all of the general managers, with the approval list now, all of the general managers' projects would go to him, and he would come back with his plan as to when those items will get addressed.
Yeah, Bob, if you would, don't have to, like in the past, you would give me some suggestions on how I can format this to better meet the board's expectations. I appreciate it.
Okay.
I'm like Griff. I come from the same school. Griff, you have goals, you have objectives, and then you have metrics to determine whether you met those objectives or not. But this is somewhat foreign in my way of thinking. You know, I have problems trying to determine metrics for some of these projects because I don't know what the ultimate goal is. You have objectives hanging here without a specific goal that we're trying to achieve. And in some cases, we may have a goal here without any objective. So it's a little difficult for me. I'm going to have to reorient all that I've been taught 31 years about my goals and objectives and develop individual development plans.
Bob, I think the idea here is to go down through these projects, and then we would develop goals, objectives, and metrics as appropriate for these particular items.
If you recall, last year we did it differently. Last year we looked at what our goals, we looked at the mission statement, the vision statement, the creed, and our bylaws and all that. And then we determined goals, satisfy those things that were in those documents. And then we developed objectives to meet those goals. And then we developed metrics to determine whether we were achieving the objectives that we had developed. Now we're doing it a little bit differently here. We have a little mishmash.
Okay, Kevin, you want to go down to the rest?
Yeah, all right, yeah, let's get moving on this. Board of Directors, decide what recommendations from this year's long-range plan to implement. So I think we need a board member to step up and say that, you know, they'll take responsibility for that one. So anybody volunteering? Okay. All right, so Linda and Bob, Linda and Bill, okay.
I have a point of information. I'm starting to agree with what Bob said for most of this. You're going to appoint board members. The three carryover board members are going to be the only three people that you can put on these projects. Because anything that goes past February 28th, unless some people on here are reelected, your only board members you can count on are Bob, Linda, and Al. That are board members. So I don't see how you can assign people to these issues unless you're going to do them before March 1st.
Well, I guess that's the question. Are you guys willing to do something before March 1st?
There's two I want.
Yeah, okay. All right. But you're right. If there's something in there that we feel that needs to wait, then you're right. We won't assign it.
Well, I think, just as a comment, I think, you know, that we could start work on some things. That doesn't always necessarily mean that this board has to adopt them. They can present recommendations to, you know, maybe to the next board. It's just a matter of getting started. In some cases, I agree with Bob. In some cases, I think that's a valid point on some certain types of projects. But, you know,
I'm trying to think ahead. Looking at that first bullet, says decide what recommendations from this year's long-range plan implement. How can two people do that before March, when it requires a board decision as to which ones we want to execute and which ones we want to defer.
Yeah, they make a presentation after they do their work, and they present to the board saying, we think this is what the board should be doing. The board either agrees or disagrees.
And they're going to get that done before March, and they're going to make the decision for the next board.
For this board, the next board wants to change it, they change it. But you've got two people that have already been on the Long Range Planning Committee signing up for this.
Like I said, Kevin, I'm looking ahead. It says decide what
We're all looking
recommendation.
ahead.
Decide what recommendation we're going to implement. Two members of this board cannot do that. They can come back with a recommendation to this board.
That's right, that's what I just said.
But that can all be overturned next year.
Absolutely.
We're just spinning our wheels. Why not just wait until the next board is stood up?
If Linda and Bill want to spin their wheels, then they're entitled to spin their wheels. Next one, develop a policy for outside usage.
That's my point. That's just one of several.
Bob, you're not being asked to spin your wheels. Linda and Bill are. Develop policy for outside usage of facilities. Anybody want to take that on? All right, so Bob, you'll do that. Review and update. That's up to Bob. Review and update contract for general manager. Who wants to take that on? Now, again, here comes the problem, is that contract is up for renewal in April. So you're going to have new board members who come on board March 1st. Are they going to be in a position to understand and evaluate the general manager in that contract?
Actually, it renews June, and I have a 90-day clause, so it needs to be due. The decision needs to be made by March 1st.
But by March 1st. Seems to me we got to hop on this one. All right, so that's Janice and Val will do that one. Okay, complete general manager evaluation for 2010. We're all on the hook for that one. Revised general manager evaluation form for 2011. We're all on the hook for that one? Linda? Okay. Linda and I will take that one. Okay. Perform an ongoing review of financial data. I guess this is all of us. We do this every month. Okay. Improve communications of the role of the nominating committee to residents. Now that's going to occur this year as well.
That's already been done.
Okay. Adopt a policy to require a request for proposal document to be prepared for contracts in excess of a certain amount. Board Policy Committee? Okay, so that's Val and Bob. Encourage volunteer participation and emphasize to residents the importance of committees.
I'll do that, but I can't have it done tomorrow.
That's fine, that's fine. You'll be around for the next year, right?
Maybe. Maybe.
Okay. Review governing documents and board policies to determine if any need to be updated. Okay.
That's ongoing board policy.
Decide on issue of capital assessments to new residents. I'll work with Bill on that. We may already have an answer, but just to clarify and document the answer, I'll take that one. Define the roles and responsibilities of board task groups.
I'll take that one.
We need a board member.
I'll do it.
We got Linda, Janice, and Val. All right, sounds good. Not if Linda, Val, and Val are going to do it. That'd be 4 women. We can't meet. Okay, the last one. Well, no, hold on. Ensure all board members have equal say in the year-end general matter evaluation and bonus calculation. Well, that's all of us. Okay, and then the dual responsibilities, determine ownership of the infrastructure between HBCA and the CDD. Bill and I do that, yeah. Continue to improve communication to residents. Again, that's probably the board, Bob, and the general manager. Keep assessment increases to a minimum, that's both of us. And approve the contractor for golf and common ground maintenance. That would be Bill, Val, Bob, and I.
The board would approve it. We'd be recommending.
Oh, approval, okay, yeah.
Recommendations.
But I guess the recommendations would come from us, yeah. Okay. So, do we need to vote on that, or? I don't think so, no. Okay, okay.
I would like to just like to make an editorial comment. As I mentioned to Bob, I would like to see us develop this policy for outside uses of facilities fairly quickly, and I would also like to see the roles and responsibilities of the task groups done with relative quickness as well. That would be.
Bob's committee's got a committee being seated for the closure issue.
What?
Bob's currently seating.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying, I'm just reiterating, those are the two I would like to see done fairly quickly. Well, actually, the three, the recommendations from this year's long-range plan, the finding the roles and responsibility of task groups. We've had too much, I would say, confusion on that point, even by people on the task groups. We need to get that nailed down quickly. And then the matter of developing policy for outside uses of facilities. I'd like to see those get done as soon as we can, please. Do I have a motion to adjourn?